You are welcome back. Now we are going to question 4, which is about creating variables for modeling and learning. So the first thing we need to do is to use the price column to create a variable y. So y will equal to the price. So after doing this, we can check properties of y. For example, to know the number of rows and columns in y, we need y dot shape, which is the dot shape is the command that we have been using to check. So we need to get used to some of those commands now. Because y has only one item, so it's one column. So the column bring down number. So now we have 6,196 rows as expected. What is the serial number of the first 2 rows? You know that when we need to get first, we need head. So that is y dot head. Put the bracket. So we get the first item. So the first 2 items. So the question is serial number of the first 2. That is 1, 2. Then to do the last, then it will be y dot tail. So I leave that one for you to do. Then the next one is to check descriptive characteristics of y. So by doing y dot describe. So I run that. The results we have the count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and the like. Note that this e plus 3 is like times 10 raised to power 3. So it will be, we will need to shift the decimal point to know the number 1, 2, 3. So that will now be 6,196. So from this place, you should be able to get the value for minimum value of y, which is the mean, after shifting the decimal 5 times, maximum of y, then 25 percentile, the 75 percentile, mean of y, then the standard deviation of y, which is STD. So I leave you to complete that. Then we create a vector x, because it's having more than 1, which will contain rooms, bathroom, land size, latitude, and longitude. That is 5 variable. So this one will be like a matrix. So now we can now check. For example, what is the number of rows and columns? We will do x dot shape to get that out. Let's see what we get. So this is having 5 columns, so which is correct. Rooms, bathroom, land size, latitude, and longitude. And the number of rows is 6,106. Since we are using the data, the clean data, and that is the numbers there. So to get the serial number of the first 2 rows, you should know what to do by now. Then to know the serial number of the last 2 rows, you should be able to check that. Now check the descriptive characteristics of x. So I leave that one for you. So you do x dot describe, then you get the minimum of land size, maximum of number of rooms, mean of bathroom, standard deviation of latitude. So the next one is to import train test split. With this, we'll be able to split the data into the one that will be used to train and the one to validate the analysis. So it's train test split. So computer will use a random approach to break it into 2. So this one will import the module that we want to use to do the analysis. So it's still loading, serving asterisk. Then after that, we can now do the splitting using calling the module after it has been imported. So after that one, while we are waiting for it, so the next thing we need to do is to break x into train and test, then y into train and test, using the train test that we have imported, setting the random state to 0. So that's just to set a kind of default to start from. So this one now this our import has a number now, so it is done. We can now use it here because that's the train test split. So this has been done. Now it means we now have something. We now have a set of data x train, another set x test, another y train, another one y test. So y has been broken into 2, x has been broken into 2. So for each of these questions now, what is the number of rows in x train? To get the number of rows or number of column, we know is dot shape. So I will do x train dot shape to know the rows and column that is there. So we know the column remain the same. So dot shape x train dot shape. So we have 4,647 rows in x train. So if we do the same thing, y train should also have the same dimension, so that train and train will be the same, so that the y and x will go together. So let's see y train dot shape. So this is 4,647. So they are having the same row. So y is only 1 column, x is 5 column. So that's what is there. Then we do the same thing for, we can do the same thing for x test, y test. They should have the same number of rows. Y we have 1 column, x we have 5 column. So with that we will be able to answer this: number of rows in x, number of rows in y, number of rows in x test, number of rows in y test. Then serial number of the first 2 rows. So that is, we will do x train dot head to see the first 5. From there we will be able to pick the first 2. So either is their serial number or the number itself. So but here is the serial number. The same thing for y train dot head to do the first 2. Then x test dot tail to do the last, y test dot tail to do the last. So with this we'll be able to get the serial number. So the serial number of test should match, and that of train should match. That means the same rows that is picked for text under x should be the same row for text under y. So that is what we have here. Thank you.